This is the hard way as we welcome everybody into this Vigilante Racing League race here. And it's going to be the first time a lot of these drivers have ever even seen a road course, let alone COTA, the Circuit of the Americas, where we just saw the Formula One race here this past weekend. So we're going to see some exciting action from these NASCAR trucks as these drivers try to take on this just over 3-mile circuit here tonight. And boy, oh boy, is this one just going to be a clash and battle for the ages at this track here tonight. So without further ado, let's get things started off tonight with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
As we all welcome you back here, thank you guys so much. As always, we like to thank the great sponsors over here at Vigilante Racing League, one of those being D&D Race Graphics. Go ahead and search out Mr. Ricky Wittenberg there on Facebook and on Trading Paints to get yourself a custom paint job done by him, as everything looks absolutely fantastic and eye-catching. So be sure to get your next paint job done by him over there at D&D Race Graphics, as well as his real-life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. Let me get that one going here. Give Ricky a call at 423-444-0454, whether you're looking to buy or sell your house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area, or across the country. He's got a Rolodex filled, absolutely filled to the brim with great realtors in the area that you're looking for, because this housing market is absolutely nuts. Do not do it alone. Go ahead and get yourself a good quality realtor to help you out here today. As always, I am searching for the right button here. Man, I got way too
Forget your name?
No, I just happen to find the right buttons here, doing everything manual style here. I'm Alan Brown, and I'm looking forward here to tonight, as I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English, up here in the booth. Alan, just over 3 miles here at this twisty, turning, winding, just everything racetrack here at Circuit of the Americas.
It's this track's crazy. I mean, it's hard enough for Formula One drivers to get around here. We're gonna see how these guys do it in these NASCAR trucks. You've got some crazy turns, like you got that one turn that looks like that. You know, it looks like it's triangular. Well, there's a couple of them actually, but and elevation changes galore. We're gonna see some crazy fun racing out here today, and hopefully the guys out there can keep it clean. I think the incident rate is like super high, right? So even if these guys do go off track quite a few times, maybe scrape a wall or two, they should be okay. So The only limitation, is going to be, well, I won't steal Adam's thunder. I'll let him talk to you about it. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun to watch these trucks run around out here. And this is a points race. So, I mean, hopefully these guys put in a little bit of practice to kind of, in this league, there's a few guys up there that they're just hammering away at the top of the podium every week. You got to find something like this to set yourself apart. So hopefully we'll see a new winner tonight.
Hopefully, as we head on down there to pit road, where Mr. Adam Turner, I think the only way you found this one is because it was your home state of Texas there is down here in Austin, and finding this road course track here tonight. But I got a feeling pit road might be a little busy. You got a few corners here that if you mess them up, man, it gets pretty tight and you could find yourself with some damage.
Oh, you're going to find a whole bunch of damage here. I don't know what I was going to steal from you, English. I don't know what the heck's going on. I think, though, correct me if I'm wrong, the elevation changes here are because it's built on a landfill. Is that true?
I don't know.
I
really don't.
It's really the trash, part of Austin, that there's nothing out there. They just build stuff and then people come and spend all their money out there, hipsters. But it is kind of a cool track. I like what they've done with bringing in F1 and stuff. These trucks, I don't know. We're going to find out if they can run out there. I think we've run NASCAR runs trucks out there, so we're going to have fun. 2 fast repairs.
Does MotoGP run here? Does anybody know?
I think they do. It might be I think it's a modified circuit,
track.
But they definitely do run out here.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much have this thing loaded up with stuff throughout the year. It's very busy. I mean, Austin, so become the mecca of wokeness and all that stuff down there. But I'm sure they run electric cars all the time. We'll have to look into that. 60% fuel, unlimited tires, 100 incident points you're DQ'd. I don't think we're going to see any of that, but that's for what? When you get like 1 point off when you go off track, and I guess there's a way to cut kind of corners here, and so they put that 100 incident points in.
I mean, you have to get 3 incident points per lap to DQ yourself. That's going to be hard to do.
33 laps, 3.43 miles around this thing. I don't know. I'm not into high math. But either way, hopefully we see a new winner tonight. I don't know. It's hard to tell. These guys are all close to their vest, and we're not going to know until the end of this thing.
That indeed. As we take a look at today's race info, all the turns visualized there on your screen, and these guys have to learn each and every single one of them. But good news for them, it's not going to be rainy or anything, so no weather problems to deal with here tonight. Bringing us down to that key of the race, and man, you got to be careful there in turn 1, also turn 2. Don't forget about turn 3. Just be careful in the rest of them while you're at it.
Yeah, and they're all different, as you mentioned. And I think the only person hoping for rain that I heard of, I think was Tim Pope, was hoping somebody to do a rain dance or something. Tell Bush to fire up the old weather machine and get some rain in here. But
well, I got some people that could do that. You can have a rain dance if y'all want to.
I just want to see some good, clean racing. Hopefully these guys get a hold of the track. What about the curbs here? They don't have like the big, tall turtles here, do they? They just have the moderately sized curbing, correct?
That is correct. It's friendly. Like, you're not going to absolutely destroy your race car here if you screw up a turn here and there. That being said, though, you can't get too hard onto that throttle because it will still mess you up out there just enough to ruin your lap. As man, nothing wants to work today. We see these guys head on out here for some qualifying. Just a couple minutes left here. Dustin Wade out there right now trying to put in some hot laps.
I'm just trying to do some research. You got a lot of button issues out there?
Yeah,
and I'm trying to...
Something ain't right, but it's all right.
I was trying to reply to Earl Evans out there asking, hey, we don't stream on Twitch anymore? Nope. The company that allowed us to do that, the plug-in, The company went belly up, so we're not able to multi-stream anymore. But the good thing about broadcasting on YouTube is that it's easy to find, and the videos don't get deleted after a couple of weeks. So you can actually go back and watch yourself race from years ago if you want to. Yeah, sorry about that, Earl. Phone, I cast it to a smart TV at your shop if you got one from Keller, both on the same Wi-Fi.
You trying to tell him how to beat the system at work?
Yeah, trying to. He said he can't get to YouTube on his work computer.
Well, they got him locked down. They must know he's doing some stuff. And took away all the privileges. We hope we can find a way to watch it. Because you are sponsored, not sponsored by AAA Broadcasting.
He said he's watching it on
That indeed is just a few seconds left here as here comes that 728 Timothy Pope. Talked to him last week. Really hasn't run any laps here other than maybe some practice laps and whatnot, but he was one of the fastest guys out there in practice, so look forward for him to move up those standings, but not able to get a time in here as qualifying comes to an end, which means we're going to start gridding up here in just a few seconds as these guys head on down there, and we look forward to seeing everybody get to a good starting point here as they make their shuffle all the way through this track. Speaking of the starting grid, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight, bringing us to the 33 of Jess Vaught, winning pole position here tonight. His teammate, the 92, Greg Klein, is going to be starting right beside him here. So those are two very good road course guys that we know of in the past are ones to watch out for. But new to this league this year, the 18 of Andrew Player, he qualified here in third, so be on the lookout for him. Same thing with the 5 of Jonah Long, starting to his outside there in fourth. We got the 28 of George Rincon starting there in fifth. He's one of those guys where at the tail end of this thing, man, you'd be surprised to see him still so far up that leaderboard. So be on the lookout for the 28 to maybe be a little bit of a dark horse here tonight. Same thing with the 6 of Austin Reeves, just trying to get things put together here, starting in 6th. In 7th, we have the 728 of Timothy Pope, with the 68 of Dustin Wade starting in 8th. The 25, Cody Tarrant, will start here in 9th, with the 76 of Jeff Ottinger rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
Tony Polk and Kelly Keel will start on row number 6. Row number 7 is going to be the 99 of Chris Zofeld and the 29 of Dave the Mouth Mayberry, making up row 7. All the rest of the cars did not put in a qualifying time, even if they did go out there and practice. I'm going to go through kind of quick here. The 8th row is going to be Chad McCabe and, well, it's not Lori Vault. It's probably David Kelly. Josh Oxendine in 18th. 19th will be Trevor Robertson. Charlie Herkus will round out your top 20.
Yeah, I mean, do we even need to talk about them? Because they didn't even try.
Well, let's say their names. I mean, they want to hear the names on TV.
I like this one here. 81, Jonathan Osborne, 21st. 14, Dustin Eaton, 22nd. 58, Robert Chipman, 23rd. Number 2, David Emmett, 24. 82, Michael Everidge, 25th. 753, Jeremiah Burke, 26. Jeffrey Johnson, 27. Todd Smith, 28. Michael Adamson in the 751, 29. 10, Andrew Cawthon, 30th. 74, Robert Jordan, 31. 747, Albert Anderson, 32. Number 34, Mike the Spy Sodomowski, 123, John Gallagher will round this thing out.
As the field paces behind the pace truck here, getting ready to come on down here. Started somewhere kind of in the middle of the track as these guys make their way through the final couple of turns, and it's going to be a blistering start here at Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas, as these guys continue to kind of get lined up and racked up and ready to rumble. One more turn and the pace truck will make its way on down here into pit road. These guys need to be careful here. Pit road speed pretty slow. No issues, getting on and off, that kind of thing, but maintaining that speed because pit road can be very long here.
Yeah, you can, and you really got to watch your speed down there. I like the sponsors we see, like on the sides of the track. We got Whataburger. I love Whataburger. We got Pit Boss. I don't know if I would have Pit Boss. Billet Grill. Looks like the place to be, Adam. How come we have never been down here?
Well, because I don't like hanging out with those hippies. Okay?
Oh, God.
That's just I'm going to be honest with you. They extended it to another lap, so I thought I'd talk about Austin a little bit.
We're going around another caution lap.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a long one too.
Well, I got a lot of stuff. If you do head down,
All right.
because I do like Austin. There's just some of the stuff they just destroy. They're trying to destroy the hill country down there. But you need to head over to the Chili Parlor Bar. Get you.
Is that on 5th Street?
No, that's 6th Street.
Oh.
No, don't go down there. You might get shot or stabbed.
That's where the live music is, man.
No, that's all the hipsters. Don't go over there.
Oh, okay. Duly noted. It didn't used to be like that.
No, it is now. Head over to the Chili Parlor Bar and get you Mad Dog Margarita. That's one. Then you can listen to, Guy Clark. That's the song he wrote about that place. Yeah, head over to, name of that place. There's a beer garden over there. You gotta hit up, close to the stadium. But, just be careful in Austin. There's really no laws. The homeless can do what they want. It's pretty much, just be a little careful. Just a pro tip for y'all.
Or just stay in New Braunfels or somewhere, or San Marcos, or...
Well, you could. I mean, it's going to take you 3 hours to get there because of 35.
Well,
Check out the lake there. LBJ Lake. Or Ladybird Lake, whatever.
Edward Johnson.
It's a cool town, but there are some downfalls too. Just like any city in the United States, right?
Yeah.
As the field paces behind the pace truck here, you can see all the elevation changes, all the sweeping turns. You saw just a moment ago the sweeping S's here. Very much a rhythm section of this track with those Formula One cars. It can be extremely fun as a kind of like a rhythm section, carrying a whole ton of speed down through there. But just after that, you come on down here to the hairpin turn, which lines you up to a pretty long straightaway here, as you can just see out of the corner of your screen, the pace truck just popping its head on up. I expect these guys to be hitting some pretty good top speeds down here to slow things down and end up in essentially another hairpin turn. I think it's an even tighter turn than the one before it, as that's going to be another spot where heavy braking is going to need to be applied.
Heavy braking zones. This is where we're going to see cars stacking, or trucks rather, stacking up and running into each other. Somebody's going to go in hotter than the guy in front of them, because their guy in front of them is going to be trying to be careful. And we're going to see some guys right there in that turn where they're turning left right now. That's where it's going to happen. Either right there or the last turn, the other hairpin down here. One of those places where you're going to see it.
How many damn turns are there?
870. I don't know. It's a bunch. It should be in the info tab here. 16 turns. Russ Endicott saying, sorry guys, couldn't make it tonight. Total scene down at the food court.
I'm trying to get that Orange Julius. Yeah, you remember those?
Sounds familiar. Was that like a slushy thing or something?
Yeah, but back in the malls and around here.
Yeah, right next to the Corn Dog 7. Remember that place?
Yeah, in the Hickory Farms.
Oh, there's nothing good.
They're about to start, aren't they, Brown? I don't know.
They still have a few more turns left here, as making their way through 18 and 19 right now. Gonna head on up to turn 20, which is the final turn here, as these guys make their way onto the front straightaway once again, as the pace truck peels on off down into pit road, as we get stacked up ready to rumble here side by side. Just Vaught and Greg Klein get everything all wound up, and here we go. Green flag racing for the first time here tonight at Circuit of the Americas. Just Vaught up the inside here with a great start. the 92 Greg Klein right behind him here, heading into this first extremely hard braking zone. And boy, oh boy, we're already seeing a little bit of carnage up here. Oh, people just absolutely getting checked up here in that accordion effect as the 33 continues to drive away here, getting a very clean start. You got the 8 and the 83 here heading into the S's. This is a very dangerous zone. You probably aren't going to get many passes done here. They were side by side, but they kind of shuffled it around and were able to figure it out. You got
64 and 11.
11 got spun off the track there.
Okay, FedEx Denny Hammer machine.
Yeah, they're sure trying to do some passing in the S's. Another truck off the track up here, blue and silver machine.
58. Oh, 50.
They also got the 6 of Austin Reeves trying to make a move here on the 5, heading into this hard braking zone once again. Not quite able to get the run off the corner. He does have some people breathing down his neck like the 728. Oh no, as the 99 goes for a little bit of a wild ride back here.
So it looks like there's a couple schools of thought on that hairpin. Some guys are starting outside, they're apexing, and they're swinging the outside. And some guys are going around it like they're trying to drive around a pole in the ground with the shortest distance possible. Not sure about that. Oh man, the 64 just sent it in there, locked his brakes up, smashed into the side of another truck.
And got the 747 of Albert Anderson here. He's going to make a comeback here. Oh!
Here we go.
And so we got absolute mayhem happening there in that
Dave Mayberry.
corner.
Dave Mayberry trying to get straightened out, somebody just smacked him.
The 20 straight. That was cool.
Yeah, he helped him out there.
Yeah.
And the next turn, there's a bunch of chaos going on.
Hey, I might like this right turn stuff after all. There's a lot of fun. At least right now.
Chaos going on out there right now.
Hey,
But it'll fan out, it'll spread out there one round.
that it will, as the 81 of Osborne goes side by side with the 8 of Pope Salatoni, heading into the final section of this track. And congratulations, guys. That is one lap around this racetrack here. As boy, oh boy, we got an issue going on down there in the final turn. Looks like everybody able to kind of slowly figure some things out, but there's still a ton of smoke sitting back down there.
Lemming finally able to get it straight back out as he heads down the front stretch here by the fans. Grandstands? Grandstands.
The fan stands?
It's the American Bandstand.
Dick Clark.
Yeah. It's been a long day for me.
Yeah, it has.
It's all right, as we got the 5 of Jonah Long with the 6 of Austin Reeves and 728 of Timothy Pope, one of the better races going on track right now, all tight and bundled up here as they head on down this long straightaway here, picking up to speeds. I think we saw max speeds of almost 170 miles an hour, and then getting on those brakes to get those trucks load up here for a very sharp corner. Let's see if anyone runs into the back of each other here. It looked like Timothy Pope using every inch of that rumble strip there to kind of help him out as they all get through that turn A-OK. Cody Tarrant, oh no, he's having a bit of an issue out there.
Yeah, these guys are going from, what did you say, 170 miles an hour down to 38 miles an hour. That's how fast Tim Pope took that super sharp corner after the long straightaway there.
What does that do to the braking system of these trucks?
They got to have brake pads that are 3/4 of an inch thick. They have to. And the rotors, I bet if we can get a shot of somebody's front rotor as they're going in there, I bet it's
Albert Anderson.
See it in the daytime.
Albert Anderson having a bit of an issue here, going off track, able to slowly get that thing back under him here and get back out there to continue driving along. He was having a pretty good battle there with Mike Everidge, but things just going a little bit sideways there for him. You still have the that battle going on up here with Jonah Long and those guys. Jeff Ottinger here in the 76 machine, looking to try to maybe catch up back on a run here to close down this gap to the 14 of Dustin Eaton. as we had an issue here with Ethan Johnson back, kind of back in the...
10's around. Andrew Cough. Sorry.
There's so many
many
going
right.
around. It's not even showing up on my
Trying
screen.
to call them all.
Yeah.
This was headed back up the line. Oh, just a little too much go-go juice as he was making his way through the final turns exit there and spins it on around, and he's going to have to make a 37-point turn here to avoid all the traffic that's upcoming, and because he was running out of room there with the barrier right in front of him, but he was able to get that thing all turned around. No damage there for the 10 machine.
Russ Endicott said he's got his money on the Purple People Eater. I think he means Jeremiah Burke's truck, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Michael
Let us
Everidge.
know if we're wrong there, Earl.
Mike Everidge having an issue here, coming through the S's, just maybe coming in a little too hot, just not quite enough downforce here to keep that truck to stick, and the back end breaks loose and he goes off and into the wall as Jeremiah Burke trying to make some moves. He's stuck in a pretty decent sized pack right now. He's going to try to shuffle his way on through. He's got the teammate of 751, Mike Adamson, right around there.
Hey, Albert Anderson saying over there on YouTube, I can see why this might not be a favorite track for some folks. It's difficult. It is crazy hard. I would love to take this thing on a motorcycle, though, Brown. Wouldn't you? I mean, it just looks like it'd be a blast. Hours I can spend.
Well, and then if you're at the souvenir shop down here, you can't have it. They won't give you a bag, because that's against the law.
What?
No, you can't have a plastic bag in Austin now. Then you got to get the
They're
pay.
outside.
No, it's still in Austin. I believe it's still in Austin. You got to get paper, and they have to pay for it. And you're killing trees. You're killing something regardless.
You can reuse a paper bag.
No.
82's around.
82 with a little bit of help there from the 2 as the 10 tries to check up in time there. Not quite able to do so. They all figure things out here as the 58 of Robert Chipman just losing spot after spot here, trying to just keep that truck on the racetrack. And don't you worry, those guys that, may not be quick but are keeping it on the racetrack, they're going to be making up some spots by the end of this one.
Absolutely. It's all about consistency and tire savings. I mean, we know we're going to get a caution halfway through this thing. What lap did you say it was going to be on?
At the end of lap 16.
16. So completion of lap 16. These guys are going to get a break. They're going to get to come in. 4 tires of fuel, I imagine, is going to be the theme of the day on their halfway pits.
And you've got a huge field, so you want to gain as many points as you can, even if you're terrible at this. You can still gain attrition points. People will get up, people will break. Their soul will be broken from this track. So if you can just run slow as smooth as fast.
It's starting to get a little safer out there right now, wouldn't you agree?
It's spreading out a bit, yeah.
It's spreading out some.
Now, don't tell that to the 8 of Tony Polk as he just got double teamed by some Limitless teammates there. Adamson and Burke both making their way around him here.
Turner, I gotta tell you, there are plenty of uses for paper bags. You're talking to a guy who's a Saints fan for many, many years.
You put it over your head.
Paper bags down here.
Well, I don't. If I remember right, last time I went, you couldn't even get a bag. You just put it in the cart, and I'm like, hey man, what do I need to do with this?
Like Sam's?
Yeah, you got to bring your own bag. You can't even get paper bags. Yeah.
They don't have the old soup can case.
No, this is
flats or anything.
Like in a Kroger or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Out of control down in Austin.
Ooh,
so we had this guy named Robert Francis. Go ahead.
We had the 83 of Charlie Herkus there, making a very bold pass on the 01 of Kelly Keel, making it stick, and Kelly just having his wits about it. He was going to turn into the corner, just not quite able to do so. So that spot goes to Charlie Herkus in that 83. We still have a battle going on here up in this top 5. You got the 5 of Jonah Long and the 28 of George Rincon. And you also have Pope and Austin Reeves all in a line here, all fighting for one of these top 5 spots. I got a feeling this is going to be one of those battles to watch here all the way up to the end, as Jess Vaught and Greg Klein just absolutely drive away from the field here. I think being up at the front, not really having to worry about other than being rear-ended here, they're able to get a pretty comfortable start and get into a rhythm pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm watching this little pack with Rincon and Pope in the middle of these other 2 cars, and Pope's giving the business to the back end of Rincon, letting him know, hey man, I'm here, I'm fast, I need to get around. George Rincon's doing everything he can. He a little bit of brake lock up right there going into that first hairpin, but staying competitive out there. Good job, George. Don't give up on it.
Don't look like he is. Well, I guess Jess Vaught and Greg Klein are doing the old shake and bake routine. Which one of them is which?
Well, it doesn't matter. They are teammates. But yeah. I don't want to assign either one of those. Somebody's going to be mad, or both of them.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Well, Earl Evans was saying Aldi's is like that where he lives. You bring your own bags, or you can carry it out in your hand.
Yeah, no, I appreciate Aldi too. You know what you're getting into when you go there. You could go to, but when you're in Austin, you go to just anywhere and it's like that.
HEB or something?
Yeah, HEB, yes, even the HEB. It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
I get a chance to bang on Austin, guys. And we can't just talk about the race the whole time. This is a twisty, turny one. I don't know what the hell's going on. Up front looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's the 83 making another bold pass move up the 49 inside. He's now going to be even with the 63 of Josh Oxendine. 83, he's looking racy now. I think he's got the track kind of under his belt. Oh, and just as I say that, cooks it a little too much into that corner and goes out wide, losing all the positions that he was fighting for there. Able to join the track, but he's going to have some fighting left to do. Oh, as Albert Anderson in the 74 machine get all knotted up.
Charlie Herkus, looked like he was on rails there for a while. Look, starting to run out, or his tire tread is starting to wear out. Here comes Pope knocking on the back door once again of George Rincon. He's put the pressure on him, but right there in those S's is where he's doing a little knockabout right there on his tailgate as they come up. Let's see if Pope tries to make a move in this hairpin. I don't think he will. Brown, how much is drafting a factor on this long straightaway, or is it really a thing at all?
I think it'll help you out a little bit, especially with, you can see here, Jonah Long, he believes it's a big part of it. He's going to get he's trying to break that thing as much as possible, drifting to one side of the track, back to the other. However, what you really don't want to be doing is being still stuck in that draft, kind of tucked up behind another driver as you enter in that hairpin, because that dirty air makes it extremely difficult to slow these trucks down. NASCAR's across all 3 series really don't have that much downforce to begin with, and you're trying to make some of these tight turns at speeds that in your normal road car you wouldn't be able to do. Jonah Long dirt tracking it there, able to
he got a little tap,
able to keep it straight here as the 28 starts knocking on the door, trying to pass him here. A good battle going on here for one of these top 5 spots. Battle for 4th right now as, here comes the 28. Gets his nose up to the inside here in the final turn. Does he get a good drive off? He's going to shove the 5 just a little wide here as they're going to be side by side. Jonah Long, oh man, just trying to get that pedal down to the floor and put some power to those wheels. Just doing it maybe a little too soon. Breaks that back end loose, loses a little bit of that momentum, and the 28 gets that position.
Was that on a shift? He broke them loose? He barked them right there in second gear?
I think so.
Golly. These trucks do have some power now.
It's a cool pass. We'll see what happens here with Pope. What else is happening on the track? My computer, it's locked on these 3. Let me see what else is happening.
You got 64, Robertson making his way around the 123 of John Gallagher. Looks like for the most part, people have, once they kind of spaced out a little bit, people haven't really been doing a heck of a lot of crazy off tracks. And of course, as I say that, America's driver kind of drifts along here as he's right behind the 66 of Todd Smith right now. Todd Smith going very wide here in that corner. Albert not quite able to use that to his advantage here, but still a ton of laps left for these guys as Jonah Long now side by side with Timothy Pope as they head on up this hill. Oh, almost scraping each other's door panels off here as they're still side by side. They're going to have to be careful coming into a very tight hairpin. Looks like Timothy Pope will give up the position as Jonah goes into a defensive line through the corner, breaks the rear end loose here again. Pope, man, he wanted to try to get around him here, but there's a quick turn right after that hairpin, and he just had to follow Jonah, even though he was a little bit slower than Pope there on that exit.
He's going to have to find a way to outbrake him. You really can't. This isn't like Charlotte or Bristol or somewhere where you can give somebody a nudge and send them up the track and then pass them. This kind of takes a little more finesse. If you can find a good spot where you can run a different line, maybe come in on entry and outbrake them, you can make some passes here on a road course like this.
Well, I found another little battle. So Josh Oxendine in 63 is battling it out in 18th place with 01 of Kelly Keel. So there's a little other action out here. Kelly Keel's trying to hold him off.
Oh, both drivers. I think they either forgot about their brake point or they're already feeling some brake fade and tire wear. They're going extremely wide through that turn, both drivers, so making the same mistake at the same time, so neither one really lost or gained any positions from that, as looks like Dustin Eaton, he's as well having a bit of an issue out there on the racetrack as Adamson and Burke come on into the pits early here.
I'm glad you brought that up. Dustin Eaton and Jonathan Osborne both up a ton of spots. Those guys have been on the move the whole race, kind of quietly, but the 14 and the 81, Eaton and Osborne, both having crazy good race out there tonight, as well as Mike Evans.
Well, also we got Everidge out here is battling out for 24th spot with Sibinovsky, 34 car, so 82 versus 34. There are other battles out here, which is kind of fun. They're really fun to watch, actually.
But yeah, I think all eyes right now still on this battle for the top 5. Looks like Andrew Player, your final guy on the current podium. Not quite enough pace to keep up with Greg Klein or Jess Vaught, but enough pace to run away here from the charging top 5 guys. As here comes the 5, trying to shoot around the outside of George Rincon, not quite able to make that move happen. As you saw there, I believe that was the 10 going out wide in that corner. As man, these guys, they're all running around the same pace, and this is kind of what I like about road course racing. I'm not too big on it here in the NASCAR vehicles. I definitely prefer more of the GT3s, or
oh yeah,
any of the IMSAs, or like the Indy, or those kind of monocoque cars. But that being said, you find people like in these races that all race around the same pace, and you find yourself racing with them all race long. The race could be an hour or it could be 24 hours, and at the end of it, as long as both of y'all had about the same race, you're gonna be racing here at the end.
You would even have fun here, I'm telling you, like in a Skip Barber car. Or what were the Mazda ones they had? The
Pro Mazda, yeah.
Pro Mazda or Skippy would be fun here.
Yeah, I could see how you'd have a lot of fun on the track, battling it out in those little quick maneuverable cars with not a lot of top speed. That's interesting.
I draw the line though at one of those what do they call them, the Ford, the SCCA. What are those? You know what I'm talking about? The Ford ones with the fiberglass body and the 4-cylinder engines?
The Spec Ford Racer, yeah.
Spec Ford. There you go.
Whoa,
I draw the line there. Those are rough.
Dustin Eden put it on 2 wheels like Osborne was now, just like the Dukes of Hazzard.
A little two-wheel action.
Sure did, big time.
So we're getting more and more people coming on down into the pits. Dustin Wade, Jeff Ottinger, and Tony Pope all coming down now to hit their first pit stops of the day. So people are making up some ground here as we got David Kelly in the 64. Trevor Robertson sending it up here down into turn number, I should say up into turn number 1, as that is an uphill down to a downhill for that corner here. Looks like Kelly not quite able to hold that position off as John Gallagher now has Dustin Wade, and they're also going to be having a few people coming out of the pits. Oh, goodness gracious, that was a close call.
Now, Robert Jordan had just spun off the track and got back on, and was he had gotten back up to speed, but the guys coming out of the pits there kind of close. Let's see, Annalie Tovar joining us over there on YouTube saying, "Let's go Team Tang, Orangutan Racing Team out there."
Ooh, Austin Reeves goes for a little bit of a spin. Let's go ahead and take a look back here. What happened to that 6 machine? I might have clicked the wrong review button here. Let's see. Nope, click the right one. As just around he goes, a little too much go-go pedal here. As you can see there, Osborne getting around him, and oh no, Timothy Pope also having a little issue. I think he might have just went off track a little ways here. Let's watch what happened with him. You could see him kind of fighting that thing. It was looking a little loose, and it just stayed loose on him as he heads on through the track limits there. Able to wheel it back around, though, so he's going to continue to drive and try to get some laps in as the 6 of Austin Reeves heads on down into pit lane. Same thing here. 18 of Andrew Player. You got the 5 of Jonah Long down there in the pits now. Jonathan Osborne now up into 3rd. Yet to make his pit stop here, but he's been chewing up this track, trying to make up as much time as he can. Jonathan, one of those guys, man, you don't envy him because he's racing here with his mouth. You got to imagine how much work that thing's been doing here tonight, trying to get that car slowed up, slowed down. Oh, as the 82 goes a little loose right in front of, I think that was Mike Sabanovsky, but able to get it back under control to avoid any more of a serious incident as Jeremiah Burke sets the fastest lap time of this race. Burke, another one of those guys, if he gets on a roll, he's going to be making up a ton of spots here.
Now, Earl called it earlier. He's looking for Burke to be consistent out there, and it was his pick for the win. But look, here in about 6 more laps, we're going to get racked and stacked. Everybody's going to be stacked back up like it's the beginning of the race again. So all this action that we saw early is going to repeat itself as guys are going to be fighting for track position out there with each other because it's going to be up close and personal once again. You know, this huge lead that Jess Fox got, it was 6 seconds last time they crossed the start-finish line, and Andrew Player, let's see, 3 seconds or 4 seconds behind Klein, and then the next closest guy is 10 seconds back. So clearly the front 3 drivers right now, the class in the field.
I think Long just made a pass on Pope.
I think he did. All those guys, Andrew Player, Rincon, Long, and Pope, all coming on down in for some of their pit stops. Road course racing is one of the very few tracks that when we talk about fuel saving and tire management and all that, man, you can do a lot as compared to, you know, like a mile and a half. Oh, as we got I think a big issue happening here with Gallagher, Jordan, and Everett. Let's go back and see kind of what happened here. Might have been coming out of pit lane. Oh, just extremely slow through that corner. That's what caused the blip to come up on my end here as we return to the action here between Kelly Keel and Josh Oxendine. Speaking of which, oh, both drivers, the 63 especially, just going out a little too far there and gets caught up. Unfortunately, the 01 Kelly Keel not quite able to make a move, tried to dive bomb it up the inside, not able to make that one stick as well. So he's going to continue to fight here with that 63.
So we got a couple of trucks out there, well, quite a few, that have not pitted yet. Does it make sense to try to short pit the halfway point, because you know everybody's going to be racked and stacked back up, right? A lot of guys are going to come down and pit again, I would think. Well, we're getting some later pits here. I'm not sure what to do here for a strategy. Adam, what do you think about it? Because I don't know. I would think the front two guys and a few others are trying to make it a one-stop race and short pit the halfway flag.
Well, I have no clue what the hell's going on out here. I'd be going over to Jenny's Little Longhorn having a couple Lone Stars at this point. I'm not sure what they would do with fuel here. I'm not, the right turn thing is, I just can't, it doesn't compute in my brain.
Well, I mean, fuel and tires, I mean, they've been out there making good pace with original equipment still on their car.
Did you not hear what I had to say? I've got this computer problem over here. I had I think a good choice of pit strategy. I think I didn't hit the unmute button. Head over to Jenny's Little Longhorn, have yourself a couple Lone Stars. That'll soothe your soul.
That's the pit strategy.
That's the pit strategy. As here comes Vaught and Klein down into pit road. Was their lead enough here after all the pit stops now kind of being all cycled on through? Other than the 66, Todd Smith, he's still out there. As Hot Rod Mayberry having a little bit of an issue here, able to get that thing back out onto the track. So it looks like even with all the fuel saving that they could do, not quite enough there for the 33 and the 92. Both drivers now in the pits, but here comes that 18 of Andrew Player. It's going to be close as they exit the pits. I think Greg Klein, he's going to definitely be erasing Andrew here as he comes up, down, and across the line. You can see there, Just Vaught just coming out now. So the undercut in effect here for the 18, jumping over Greg Klein, who's now got to fight back through Jonah Long and George Rincon, and maybe even Timothy Pope. I think Pope might be just a few, little bit too far off, as Robert Jordan's having a little bit of an issue out there.
Well, Earl Evans called it right before those pit stops just started happening. He said you're not going to have enough fuel to get to halfway. It's going to be a two-stop race for sure. Thanks for that, Earl. He definitely called it right there before they came down the pit lane. Somebody did their homework.
As Rincon and Long battle here now for a podium spot here. Of course, with the stage break, there are stage points up for grabs, so every position does matter here. With 22 laps remaining of this 35-lap race, so we're only a few laps away as the 28 blows that corner. It's going to bring the 5 into play here as they almost go side by side. I think 5 of Jonah Long just not able to get the power down to get the run here as he was tucked right up to that bumper of George. Now using the draft as much as he can, heading on down into this hairpin turn after that long straightaway. Long going deep into the inside section of the corner, makes it stick, kind of. And the 28 of Rincon using his head movement there to look out the window, see that the 5 was shooting up the inside there and gave him the room. So Jonah Long back up onto the podium here, but here comes the 28, almost clean.
What a smart line.
Clean.
What a smart line by the 5 to take it away from the 28 there. He might. We do run fixed setups in this league, but brake bias is something that is extremely important that you actually can change. And it looks like Long had just enough bias towards the rear there, where he was able to kind of dirt track it around that corner. I think he locked the rears up, not the fronts, as he was able to keep that thing pointed straight and prevent a pass. Beautiful move.
As you can see here, the 92 of Greg Klein trying to hunt those two guys to jump back up onto that podium spot. Greg with a decently slow, comparatively, pit stop there, maybe getting some damage done from smashing a curb or something, but definitely trying to chase these guys down here as they enter in the S's section of the track. And boy, let me tell you, we all talk about Greg Klein because we've raced with him for years and years now. He's one of these guys where if he gets a rhythm in one of these sections, man, You're talking about a guy that can go from just a so-so driver at a track to a guy that's just making time on the field here.
Teaching lessons at the track after a couple of laps. That's what Greg Klein can do. And even if you're racing him in real life on a go-kart track, he doesn't have any qualms about maybe giving you a little nudge or a bump or crowding you into a turn where there's a bunch of tires. He's
He drives angrier than he actually is.
Well, with that being said, we still have Jess Vaught up here in the lead doing what he's got to do to hold on to this thing. He's got Albert Anderson right now there in front of him. Looks like Albert's just going to drift on wide and be like, just go, Jess. I ain't going to slow you up. You're on a run here. As we get closer and closer to that midway stage break here in this Vigilante race here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. These guys putting on a heck of a show. Looks like we've only got a couple of guys that have disconnected right now. 30 out there on track. Looks like Ethan Johnson's still sitting there in the pits, maybe getting some manual damage done as to try to save up some of those fast repairs. As here comes Charlie Herkus and John Gallagher. They're going to be side by side as they come down and across the line. Oh my goodness, it's going to be tight heading in here. 83 makes a dive. One spot, almost two spots here now as Andrew Cawthon came into play. Looks like Cawthon, though, on the outside getting the run. Same thing with the 123. The 83 had to be careful on that exit of that very tight turn. And so all those positions he thought he was going to gain just gave him straight on back.
Well, we got something else, too, to talk about. The trucks that are one lap down, sorry, when we have this yellow flag come out here in about 3 laps or so, all these guys are racing each other for that lucky dog position. Whether or not they'll be able to run the whole track and catch back up to the tail end of the field is a different story. But Albert Anderson right now, your lucky dog contender in that 747 America's Driver Machine. Back in 24th or 25th spot, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the 10 of Cawthon in the 123. Get into it here.
Gallagher in the 123 did go around facing the opposite direction, but he waited till traffic to pass before he spun that thing back around, headed back.
Headed into one of those hard braking zones and tight turns. Looks like the 10 just trying to cut it back across the track. Didn't have any room there and ended up accidentally snagging that 123's kind of rear quarter panel, sending him on along.
Maybe they'll fight or something, right? Because they're fighting in Austin's probably in the ground pond.
It's probably one of those cash and bail places, though, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's definitely
Just go fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can fight. You'd be out of jail in 2 minutes.
So things still a little spread out here. Greg Klein pushed as hard as he could here. Just not quite able to make up the ground as, oh man, you got Mike Adamson and Jeremiah Burke getting around Timothy Pope. Having a heck of an issue here with some traffic. Just running very slow. The 14, Dustin Eaton, now trying to make a move here on the outside in this kind of middle section of the track. Looks like he will be able to take that position away. Pope almost getting into the back of him here. That's the accordion effect heading into some of these hard braking zones. And it's you really got to leave yourself some space if you think you're going to maybe get a run on one of these guys into those very slow, tight corners.
Adamson continues to push towards the front. Your biggest mover so far, up 22 positions. He's right now in 7th place.
Man, I had to get through a lot of cars to get that far up. Wow. Osborne's up 12. Now 11.
Yeah, he's chasing
Jeremiah
down
Burke up there as well.
He's chasing down Timothy Pope right now as they're going to be side by side coming down and across the line up the hill into turn number 1. Austin Reeves also trying to do the same thing here by the looks of it. I might be wrong. That's Chris Zofeld behind him here. As the 81 of Osborne gets the pass done there on Timothy Pope. Both drivers had a interesting race earlier on this season, actually in race number 2. Thankfully, I think the blood feud had kind of fizzled out before it really even started here, but who knows, there might be something coming here to that 81 machine if they find each other here later on in this race, kind of bunched up together as Adamson and Burke just continuing to try to climb their way up through this field. 14, Dustin Eaton trying to figure out a way to try to get around that 753 of Jeremiah Burke, as Andrew Cawthon having another little issue there going off track, but able to get it back rolling here again. Chase down that 63 of Josh Oxendine, who's trying to chase down the 66 of Todd Smith, having a relatively clean-ish race there for himself. Only have a couple guys that are absolutely like perfectly clean. You got George Rincon, Jonah Long with 0 off tracks. Andrew Player's only been off track. He might have extended the track limits there just a little bit one time. Same thing with Jess Vaught, your leader right now, with 2 and some change of a second lead right now up here at the front. Greg Klein as well. He's only been off track a couple times, and again, that's really kind of the name of the game. I mean, you can see all the guys that have moved forward. I mean, Jeremiah Burke, he's up 19 with 11 off tracks, but Mike Adamson, he's up 23 with only 3 off tracks. Dustin Eaton here, he's only got 4 off tracks. He's up 14. Jonathan Osborne, he's been off track a bunch, but again, that might just be to extending those track limits a little bit.
Yeah, the driver of the Daystar Screens Chevy Silverado. Golly, that's a mouthful. Also got TrackDogsRacing.com on the bed of that thing. Yeah, he not kind of an uneventful deal back there with Pope, as he kind of goes off track again right there, right before the front stretch. Ooh, he's having some grip issues as he gets wicked loose on the front stretch.
Oh, behind him you can see Chris Ofeld there going a little too hard into that final turn. Osborne trying to stay in front of Pope here. Looks like he's going to be able to, but that's the 6 of Austin Reeves right there behind him, ready to pounce, because Pope has shown that he's capable of definitely making a mistake here tonight. So the 6 just ready to absolutely pounce back there, as man, Greg Klein just not able to make the run stick here to catch up to these battle for a 3rd podium spot for this first half of this race. George Rincon and Jonah Long continue to be nose to tail here as they continue to try to push on forward and catch up to that 18 of Andrew Player.
Well, how close are we to this? We're about here at the end of this stage, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting mighty close as the 92 Klein gets caught up in some lap traffic here. 58 of Robert Chipman having a little bit of an issue. He's going to brake well before that turn to let Greg Klein in that 92 by. As Mike Everidge now has that 66. Todd Smith all over that back end, looking up to the inside. No, that run is not quite there until the final turn, until the 82 goes extremely wide, but the 66 spins a little bit there. So much tire action going on in that final turn, as the 66 now with a run coming up the inside of the 82 goes up the hill, takes the spot away here in this battle for 19th.
Slow truck there, 123. Doing his best to stay on the inside there and let those guys around. Here comes your stage break here. Let's see how these guys are going to finish for stage points.
Oh,
Well,
Lord. Austin.
with that yellow coming out, looks like it's going to be Vaught, Player, Rincon. You got Long, Klein, Adamson, Burke, Eaton, Osborne, and Reeves all up in that top 10, getting some bonus points here. So now they've got the tough job of trying to quickly get back around the track, catch up to the pace car so they can actually get some pit stops done here.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over. I'm gonna go over to Broken Spoke. Probably have me a cup of colas. Y'all should come along.
Bring back a pulled pork sandwich, extra slaw on it, and
Well, that's not I'll head out to Salt Lake if you want me to drive that far. I could be back by the end of the race.
How long will it take you to get to Lockhart from here?
Probably 45,
Swing through there.
30, 30. I could probably wing it pretty quick.
Chop
I'll go down there
brisket
to
sandwich.
you want me
I
to go
changed
to
my
Black?
mind. Yes.
Black?
Go to Black and get a chopped brisket sandwich for me.
Well, which do you want me to go the original or the new one? That because there's a family feud.
No, I'm not going to the new one. Go to the original.
But it's the family. It's the same deal, but it's a different building.
I don't care. You pick.
I-
Whatever's faster. Just go.
The new one's on the edge of town. All right, I'll go to, I think it's Ronnie Black or something. Okay, I'll be down there and get us a little sampler plate. How about that?
Hey, give me a sample. Mike Adamson continuing to climb up, now in 6th position after starting in 29th place. This guy's on a tear, but his buddy right there behind him, Jeremiah Burke, is moving up almost as many spots. These guys running into some traffic, though, right here.
Yeah, and this is that challenge that we were kind of thinking might happen here as the yellow flag is currently out, so no passing is available. And that's going to be the problem if you get stuck behind one of these guys that isn't quite comfortable driving around this track at a, not necessarily race pace, but at a quicker speed than what the pace truck is doing. It's kind of difficult to catch back up to where the field is here.
Sure is. Yahtzee.
Guys trying to get up there. Of course, they're going to be in the same order here. Yeah, watch the 751 and 753. These guys are on a mission. I think they're going to be super aggressive once we get the second half of this race started.
I think you are right. And this second half of the race is going to be a little bit shorter due to the fact that, they're going to be running pace laps here at this halfway. So the question is, how many laps under caution are we going to do? And not only that, but I know we saw that you can't quite make it there on fuel for a complete stage like we saw, but if it's a shortened stage, will these guys be able to make it on this one stop here, or are they still going to have to come on down again?
That's a great theory, because if you're getting ready to go green, you can even enter a closed pit, go just get fuel only and get an EOL and come back, and you'll still have enough gas potentially to get to the end of this thing. But I'm not sure. Earl was pretty adamant that it wasn't. We're going to get it even close to halfway, and none of the guys did. Let's see.
Well, Just Vought made it to lap 11. Same thing with Greg Klein.
Yeah, that's too much. You'd have to short shift every corner and lose a lot of track position. I don't see it being worth it trying to gas and go and get an EOL right before the start. But I do think they may add at least another caution lap here. Well, no, let's see what the
Pace car lights are still on, so
we're still single file. Everybody should be able to catch up, I think. We've got a few slow trucks out there, but this is it's difficult to see because there are some guys that pitted. So are they going to wait for those guys to catch up to the field before they restart? If they do, they're probably going to have to add a lap. Let's see here. We're going to find out with you watchers out there, and thank y'all so much for joining us tonight over on our YouTube channel. We got 21 viewers currently watching. We got 4 likes. So if you guys like what you're seeing out there, you like the job we're doing, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. We're picking up new subscribers all the time. Thanks to all of y'all. So sure appreciate y'all out there watching us on a Wednesday night road course down in Texas.
see this field really starting to kind of get bunched back up a little bit here. Everybody trying to catch on up to the pace truck. Got some guys flying in here down the long back straightaway here. They're going to have to be careful, otherwise they might run into somebody, but it looks like everyone paying good attention here.
these guys wind around. This doesn't look like an easy place to drive around at, too wide under caution. We saw that kind of at the beginning of this deal.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Hopefully when they go back too wide.
Hey, English, it's Terry
Yes,
Black.
sir.
Terry Black opened it
Is
on
it
the
Terry
north.
Black?
Yeah, he opened up a joint on the north side of town. Beautiful place, too. I just drove through there.
North side of Lockhart?
On the north side of Lockhart. So everybody coming from the Austin side, that's the first thing they see is this big, beautiful place. So I'll run down there, grab you some.
There's a good place in Wimberley too. That's asking you a little much though.
Oh, yeah.
Here everybody comes. At least a bunch of the front runners here. They may be doing a gas and go. Well, I don't know. Let's see if they all take tires here.
That's going to be the $1 million question as Just Thought leads this field down into the pits. Let's just go ahead and wait and see. I think Jonah Long. Man, that pit crew really had to walk really far to get to his truck out there. His tail end still kind of sticking out a little bit, but able to work on it. I'm seeing 4 tires for Vaught and Klein at least, so I'm assuming quite a few people are going to be taking even more tires here and more stuff as everyone makes their way down off of pit lane. Greg Klein with another long pit stop there, so he's going to stay in 5th, but Just Bought maintains that lead. Andrew Player in 2nd, George Rincon 3rd, Jonah Long 4th, Klein in 5th, Burke and Adamson 6th and 7th, Eaton and Osborne in their 8th and 9th, with Austin Reeves rounding out that top 10.
Is Albert talking about, Albert, you like that Carolina sauce over there? I think they're in the East Coast area.
The white sauce?
I've never had the white sauce, but I do like the Carolina regular barbecue sauce, real vinegar kind of.
Oh, the white sauce is like the Alabama stuff.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. He's talking about the vinegar.
Yeah, the vinegar.
Yeah. I like the
that
sour
a lot.
white, dude. I like it.
But, you know, being down from around here, you know, we always had that kind of sweet, smoky, hot, spicy flavor. Which is kind of your choice, dealer's choice. I'll try anything. Don't kid yourself. Barbecue? Hell yeah.
I had some leftover barbecue tonight, and I used the Stubbs spicy sauce. If you can find that Stubbs spicy, it's good.
Spice, that Stubbs is a standard, you know, it's not bad. Mambo sauce, what's that? Ooh, that sounds like I need to get into the Googler machine.
Get into the Googler. I know what we're doing after this.
I'm probably going to order whatever that is. I like that. I'm going to write it down right here. Put it in my race log.
Well, while we're pacing here, let's talk to someone who's at least up here in this pace group while we got a second. Are the lights on the pace truck off still, or on, or are they off?
Stand by. I gotta find it.
It looks like they're still on, so we can talk to a driver here. Let's talk to the Ramblin' About Racing team member, the 6 of Austin Reeves here. Let's go ahead and pull him on. Oh, hey Austin, it's the guys in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, you got me?
Yes, sir, we do. It's been a very eventful race here at Circuit of the Americas, and being one of the new guys coming in here this season, how much road course experience do you have, and how are you liking it here tonight in Austin?
I don't have the first bit of experience on road racing. This is pretty fun. About lap 5, your tires fall off and you're ice skating around the whole lap. So it's more about not spinning out, not downshifting, shattering the rear tires, and losing your grip. Other than that, I'm having pretty fun.
Have you had to adjust brake bias at all or anything like that? Or are you just kind of keeping it stock and kind of, just getting used to what you have?
Can't tell you everything now. I got to keep some stuff a secret.
Okay.
Well, look at that. He just told you.
Awesome.
You got told, English. You got told.
Oh,
Well,
he knows that so many of the drivers are listening.
they do listen. They little sneaky guys. But you're doing pretty dang well. You're in the top 10. What's your game plan for the second half?
Not wear the tires out. Try to keep the truck up under me and crack off a top 10 finish.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck to you in that charge here. like he said, good job getting the top 10, getting some points there at the end of that stage, and we look forward to seeing what you can do here in the second half of this race.
Thank you.
Like that one, English. He told you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
But it's true. These guys do listen to what we're saying,
Right.
even though half the time I know I'm not saying anything valuable. But y'all mentioned some cool stuff, and that's just a little trick of the trade. Some of the drivers might pick up, and when they're listening to us, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and not only that, but you hear the quality of that microphone? Oh,
Yeah, he has a good one.
man, that was crisp. You know when you hear a good quality microphone like that, that RAR podcast that they got, it is professional.
Oh, that's right. It said he's from Millbrook. I wonder if it's Millbrook, Alabama. He'd be the guy to ask about that sauce they got down there.
I'm just looking it up right now. Mambo sauce. Oh,
They
wow.
do the white sauce.
No, it's DC. DC style mambo sauce.
Oh, that's right, because he's from Virginia, right outside of DC. Albert Anderson.
Oh, they did. Get involved in this.
MDI TV over there on YouTube saying, is Oxidine playing Safety Truck all the way back there in 21st? Playing a new game called Safety Truck Simulator? He might be.
He's babying it a little bit, isn't he?
Ah, man, I tell you what, this track, this has been a rough, rude awakening for a lot of these guys.
Couldn't do it.
Oh, man. They didn't have stock cars in mind when they built this thing, except for probably the runoff areas there.
They definitely had F1 in mind because Austin is more like Europe where they want to be. So, but it's cool to see that America gets to come down to Austin every once in a while and race.
Well, it's a relatively safe track. I mean, we just talked about the runoff areas. You know, if these guys do kind of lose control, there's tons of slowdown space between, like, as they approach this hairpin, you'll see down here past the end of the apex here, past that Monster Energy deal on the ground, there's tons of pavement there to lock your brakes up on, and then they got a gravel pit before you even get to that cushioned wall out there. So they really did a great job designing this course to be safe, you know, with that in mind, F1 driving in mind. Them guys, they ain't slow.
They did a great job, actually. I remember when they were breaking ground, there was a lot of controversy. People were stealing stuff, politicians and stuff. So
Oh,
glad it worked itself out because it's been I think a cool thing for the economy. To have all these races and people coming and going. It's pretty neat. We've got concerts out there too, which is pretty cool.
yep. MDI TV saying this track's terrible for stock cars. Yeah, it is rough for sure. Taking a lot of practice and a lot of kind of adapting something that was originally designed to be on dirt and on oval pavement ovals, and trying to adapt it to something like this, a heavy machine with low grip. It's rough. These guys definitely have their hands full out there.
Brown, are we close to restarting this thing? I can't tell what.
We are, as the
Yep.
pace truck has its lights off, heading into the final section of a couple corners here. I believe it's called the arena, but I could definitely be wrong on that one. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, it's going to be 13 laps remaining. So there you go, English. That's going to be your answer. Can these guys save 2 laps of fuel to prevent having to come back down into the pits? Because we've seen Vaught and Klein at least get 11 out of it, and they get 13. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, as Vaught's going to have Andrew Player, Jonah Long, George Rincon, who's been up there all race long, Greg Klein, Jeremiah Burke making that climb, Adamson, Eaton, all up there as well. So here we go. Pace truck coming on down into pit road once again. Looks like Adamson's going to try to duck down along with Timothy Pope right behind him here as they make the final turn and get ready to head on back to green flag racing here at Circuit of the Americas.
Wow, so these guys are probably going to do a gas and go, try to catch back up to the field, and stretch it out. I mean, enough short shifting, you might be able to do it, but how much time are they going to lose on the track? 4 wide back here going into the first turn.
Oh, and of course that's causing some issues and mayhem. Oh, track is blocked there. The 76 having a big time issue as the 33 of Vought able to get clear of that one right away, but that caused a huge checkup throughout this field. Trevor Robertson now finds himself up there in 9th place. He's going to continue to fight, getting around that 6. Austin Reeves now trying to catch up to the 14. Dustin Eaton. We still have Player and Rincon now, though. They are nose to tail with Jonah Long and Greg Klein sitting there right behind him as Jonathan Osborne goes for a little bit of a wild ride.
Check out who came out of the pits right behind the tail of the field. Adamson and Pope. They did the gas and go. They're going to roll the dice here in Austin and try to finish this deal on this tank of gas.
Drive just a couple hours north there. We can get him. I could put him over there, Papa Joe's. We could roll dice with the best of them, dude.
We were too wide into one of those hairpins. Now everyone kind of single filing out, except for Jonah Long here trying to make a pass up the inside of Andrew Player. Looks like he will get it to stick. Now trying to catch back up to that 28 of George Rincon.
Now we got like a whole new race.
It's kind of weird how that happened. It's just a re-rack and kind of brought us all back together. We really had a good time in the first 5 laps. Original at the start of this race, I thought it was really fun to watch the thing.
Oh, Charlie.
Todd Smith, the driver of the 66, made up a bunch of positions. He was on his way up into a top 15. Drop dude packet loss. Has some connection issues there for the 66 of Todd Smith. What a bummer there.
Indeed, as this race here up in this top 10 continues to boil along, Jess Vaught continuing to stretch out his lead. Here comes Jeremiah Burke. He's trying to get a run here on Andrew Player, looking to the inside. So he's going to have the inside here to turn number 1. It's a wide turn, however, it is extremely tight, dang near 180 degrees almost, if you kind of think of it like that. It looks like he is going to be able to get around him here. So Burke now up inside this top 5 in 4th place, trying to hunt down that 5 of Jonah Long, as George Rincon tries to hold him off.
Well, I'll tell you, as Jess Vaught just spend his entire day in that simulator, he is just ripping off the laps. Really looks impressive out there.
He's one of those guys that we know he enjoys road course racing. I mean, it took a little coaxing to get him involved in the endurance stuff, but once when he did it, man, I think he's fallen in love with it. And it's definitely going to show that road racing experience there in the GT3s is coming in big time here. Same thing with Greg Klein. He's trying to shoot up the inside here of the 18 Andrew Player. Looks like he's going to make that one stick, as here comes Jeremiah Burke. Oh no, not able to quite make that one stick. Trying to shove the 5 out wide here, moving up to the inside, just not able to get the power down. Breaks those rear tires loose and loses that momentum here. He's going to have to try to build that one back up.
I like Greg Klein, his paint job. I mean, look at that thing. That is just the shiniest thing on this side of the state.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Lots of shiny stuff. First thing that came to mind.
Saw there the 18 Andrew Player getting passed by the 81 of Jonathan Osborne. So I think Player might be one of those guys. Try to play the long game here, short shift in, trying to save a little bit of fuel. Because even though you go for just a gas and go, for how long you're down there on pit lane, if you don't have to come down, and that's going to save you a lot of time out there on the racetrack. And we know Andrew, he was racing pretty good up there towards the front, hanging around there with the top 3 for quite a while. So maybe laying back and saving that fuel for that yellow 18 machine.
I'm curious to see how Adamson and Pope are going to do here after that old strategy. We talked about it before halfway. We thought it might happen. But after seeing everybody pass the pits except for those 2 drivers, I didn't think we'd actually see it attempted. But these guys are doing pretty well with it. I'm not sure if they're shifting any different though.
That's 28 to 5 and the 753 and 92. What a good little race here.
Yeah, we had the 5 trying to sneak up the inside of the 28, but they were coming up to the S's and kind of smartly backed out of it here, just waiting to build up that momentum. 753, Jeremiah Burke using as much of that inside he could there of that turn. He's going to have a run now, but he's going to be on the outside as they come on down down the hill and into the hairpin. The 5 getting a little bit of loose just as the 92 of Greg Klein tries to come around on the outside here into the sharp hairpin. It doesn't look like the 92 going to be able to get around the 5, but Jeremiah Burke finds himself up there on a podium spot.
Well, we're up, about 10 laps to go here?
11 laps to go the last time they crossed that line. So these guys are going to be fighting harder and harder, getting that aggression all ramped up here as here comes the 81 of Osborne trying to go around the outside of the 92 of Klein. Again, into one of these sharper corners. The 81, though, getting the better drive off that corner, shooting it back up the inside here. Crossover move from the 92. He's going to have the inside back at him here. So chess and checkers all being played at the same time here as the 92 and the 81 continue to trade spots.
So this is the opportunity for the 81 to try to find a good corner like I talked about earlier and try to outbrake Klein, but I'm not sure that he can do it. I mean, Klein has just been so strong on these road courses. But, Yahtzee, anything can happen here in the closing laps.
As Jonah Long having an issue back there, so he's going to lose a couple spots now, and that allows Greg Klein and Jonathan Osborne to get around him.
Osborne's having a really solid race, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is, and I mean, same thing with that 28 of George Rincon, been up towards the front all race long as Austin Reeves and Dustin Eaton go side by side there. You had the 64 and the 99 going side by side up the hill and through turn 1. Looks like they're still going to be fighting here with Eaton and Reeves, but Reeves letting the 14 machine go on by. So the question is, will Jeremiah Burke have enough pace in that truck to catch up to George Rincon and Jess Fott to try to race for the win here, as we got David Kelly, Dustin Wade, and Mike Sobanowski sitting in pit road here. They're going to be coming out now. As we started this race with 33 drivers, we have 28 of them currently out there on track.
Man, that's a lot of trucks still out there fighting this thing out. And I don't know. It's a tough course. Just to be in the top 15 here would be quite a feat.
So we kind of ride around here as Cody Tarrant not putting up much of a fight here as Adamson dives up down through the inside to take that position away from him. Getting ever so closer back up into that top 10 is Adamson in that 751 machine, trying to climb on back, use that late pit strategy to his advantage. As here comes Jeremiah Burke. He's caught back up to the 28, but makes a mistake there, and he's now going to have to reel him back in here as that gap's right around half a second.
Very similar to the beginning of the race where these guys are kind of fighting it out.
Ooh, Kelly Keel goes for a wild ride there as the 82 of Mike Everidge passes him here to sneak away into 14th place. Chris Ofeld's still having some issues keeping it on track out there right now. As Jonathan Osborne now, he's getting attacked by the 5 Jonah Long, not quite able to keep that one stuck in there. So they're going to be still racing as they come on down the front straightaway here. And it's almost going to be side by side across the line, just not quite enough of a run there for the 5.
Jonathan Osborne's got a little dent in the back of his truck. I don't know how that happened because he looks like he just got a fast repair. So I'm sure they're fighting it out up there.
Oh, 751. Mike Adamson having a little bit of an issue here, loses those couple of spots that he's gained. So trying to climb back up that leaderboard as the 728 Timothy Pope sneaks back up here just outside of this top 10. Jonathan Osborne still having a great battle with that 5 Jonah Long right now as they head into this kind of switchback section of the race course here.
Guys, great effort here. What are some of the big challenges about these elevation changes? I know we talk a lot about some other tracks. One came to mind. I can't remember which one it was. Road America, I believe.
Yeah, it's Road America. It's hard
So you
because
have-
you can't see. That's one of the big challenges. Right?
Yeah, you have a couple of blind turns, but at the top of the turn, you got to start turning your wheel, and your suspension's all unloaded, right? That's the point where you have the least amount of downforce.
Yeah, you're
So
absolutely.
that can send you around.
You're absolutely right, and it's also super easy to lock the brakes up when you're doing that because again, you got no grip there on the tires. They're basically floating in midair essentially. As we continue to watch a great battle going on here between Jeremiah Burke and George Rincon. They've been essentially side by side in each and every single one of these corners. Now that 753 of Burke getting on through, so it's going to be the 92 Greg Klein trying to figure something out here with that 28 of George Rincon.
Well, we had a big scare today. There was fake news out there that said Jerry Lee Lewis died. That did not happen. Thank goodness, because I love this Jerry Lee Lewis. Killer.
A friend of mine posted it, and as soon as he posted it, I looked it up, and I'm like, this ain't true. Please freaking take this. I had my grandfather that grew up in Louisiana used to play with him. Him and Jerry Lee were almost the same age. They were a couple of years apart, but their families would get together, and them two would go and play in the ditch. And
He would play like in the ditch, catching crawdads, or was he?
yeah, they did all kinds of
piano?
stuff. They were country boys, Oh no,
Yeah.
just playing outside, community meetup stuff. So back towards the end of the Depression, there wasn't a whole lot to do.
Oh, ain't nothing to do. Kick the can. We're about to be in another one of those, so collect your cans so your kids can kick them. That's all they're going to have left.
Ooh, couple of loose race trucks right here in these S's in this big pack, with Osborne right in the middle, trying to make a move on the outside. Not able to keep it under him. Oh, there he goes. Now he makes the pass.
Now he tries.
Locks up his brakes a little bit. Here comes the crossover from Player.
Yeah, easy to do here when you try to dive it on in there. Player, though, not getting the grip coming out of the turn as Greg Klein. He's going to go to the outside, which is going to end up actually being the inside here as they come up to the hairpin of the 28 of George Rincon, who's going to outbrake Who here, as it looks like the 92 is going to get that. Oh, too much throttle on exit, gets that back end loose, and here comes the 28 right on back this time. He's got the inside part of the corner as they head on through this little kind of middle section here. Cutting it back now, Greg Klein, as they're still side by side here, fighting, jockeying, little banging of the doors there, trading a little paint as the 5 Jonah Long just kind of looks on here as they continue to put a laps down.
It's a really nice time of year to be in Austin, too.
Oh, the 5 of Long just getting into that 28 of Rincon, making them go extremely wide in the second to last turn. Now entering the last turn, you can see there Greg Klein able to make it past that 28 due to that little bump, but Jonah, man, he was running a little quicker than those guys because he wasn't battling them, and the battle was going on in front of him, but just bumping that 28 machine.
George Rincon having to serve a slowdown penalty there. It's got too far outside of that. Yeah, if you look at the entry screen, you can see like a furled black flag.
Okay.
Yeah, I just noticed that tonight. That's the first time I've seen that on
I've
that
seen that
screen.
before. That's when you cut a corner or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Osborne absolutely two-wheeling it there, hitting that turtle curb. Thankfully, I don't think any damage to that suspension of the race car here.
MDI TV reminding everyone, hey guys, just remember, 8 wheels turn better than 4. So we might see some guys with their right side door leaning on somebody's left side door, maybe coming in one of these final turns. We shall see as the laps continue to wind down. Got about 7 to go here. Boy, this thing's wrapped up here at COTA.
As Osborne now trying to go up the inside here of the 5, Jonah Long, down this long back straightaway here. They're going to still be side by side. You got the 18 of Player there as well. He's tucked up into the draft of Jonah. Oh, as Jonah locks him up, able to just check up enough and get off those brakes to A, make the corner, and B, stop the slide here. He's going to lose a decent amount of ground as Jeremiah Burke continues his drive, trying to catch up to Jess Vaught. Greg Klein drives away from the 28 of George Rincon as Andrew Player now having a great battle here.
I'm trying to find some more battles. So far, I mean, really up front is where it's at. Albert Anderson just sitting in the pits, you don't care.
Yeah, you got Dustin Wade right now trying to hold off the 25 of Cody Tarrant.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Both guys headed down the back straightaway right now, almost going to be side to side as the 25 and that 68 make their way down into this kind of hairpin turn. It looks like it's going to be that 68 of Dustin Wade holding on to that position here as we're getting some people coming on down into the pits. Eaton, Long, and Reeves making pit stops here as George Rincon gets out in front of them here.
Not a clean entry for a couple of those trucks. I'm waiting to see if they're going to post one of those guys after spinning into the pit lane. Nothing yet so far in the black flag.
Oh, Cody Tarrant in that 76. Jeff Ottinger having a bit of a problem here in the 68 as they were headed through one of those turns right before the S's there.
So the old money stop here, huh?
The old money stop, and it'll be interesting to see.
Jonah Long got posted. Black flag for the 5. Unsafe pit entry. So he'll be sitting there for about, 40 seconds? Which is about a little less than half a lap.
And thereabouts as Osborne trying to hold off the 18 in the 64 here as they make their way back down the hill into this long back straightaway. Osborne holding on to a top 5 spot right now. Jeff Ottinger having a little bit of an issue going off track there, but able to get it collected back together as Dustin Wade and Cody Tarrant again go side by side as they enter this kind of zigzag section of this racetrack.
All these gear changes these guys are having to do, they don't have automatic assist on these trucks as far as I know. They may have an exception. The 81, I'm not sure. Maybe Ashley can chime in and let us know.
This seems like the kind of place where like a climate activist might super glue themselves to the start-finish line. That would be interesting.
Hey, you got the 82 trying to hold off the 6 of Austin Reeves. As it looks like Jeremiah Burke coming on down for his final pit stop here tonight. Greg Klein is going to try to now leapfrog him here. And again, I don't know if these guys are going to be able to save the fuel. So a lot of these guys that are pitting early are getting the undercut action going on right now.
Yeah, don't forget guys like Burke and Pope pitted right at the tail end of that last caution. We thought they might be able to make it. They're obviously going to be short here. So, yeah, good move. Go ahead. Come back in. Top, just get a splash and get back out there and finish strong these last 3 or 4 laps.
Oh, as Osborne turns into a motorcycle again here entering into these S's, trying to still hold off that 18 of Player. These guys are giving it all she's got here with 5 laps left to go.
Yeah, I guess at speed, you hit that little curve, that thing go, your right tires will go up like 5 feet in the air.
Hey,
That's pretty wicked.
you ain't kidding. As Adamson catching up to Timothy Pope here, both guys part of the same team, so I'm sure there's going to be some communications about, hey man, I'm just running a little bit quicker, do you mind letting me on by? But the 14 of Dustin Eaton is sitting right there behind him, ready to pounce when that moment comes, trying to take over a couple extra spots inside this top 10.
We're acting technical on this course here.
Ooh, as there goes the 14 up the inside of the 751, taking that position away. Moves up into 9th, now trying to hunt down that 728 of Timothy Pope. As Jonathan Osborne goes way off the track, the 18 now shooting it up the inside. 74 lap traffic getting in the way a little bit there. Not able to complete that run for the 18. Has to try now to maybe cross back over the 81 as they go side by side here into this kind of middle section of the racetrack.
Pressure being applied from the 18 of Player on the 81 of Osborne. Let's see what Player does here. He looks inside, but he's going to choose to lay back here.
I don't know what he's going to do, but what a name. I love that name. But Osborne looks like he's coming down to get some refreshments. Fuel.
Same thing with Vaught and Klein. So George Rincon, he's going to get the lead of this thing here. And he's one of those guys that can save a ton of fuel while driving pretty quickly.
Got here only a few disconnects. Todd Smith because of a connection issue. David Emig and Chad McCabe involved in early accidents. Sometimes the frustration just gets the best of you here. And Jeffrey Johnson, our latest driver from the Carolinas, to exit the race early. There's always next week, guys. There's always next week.
Well, they can come down here to Jenny's Little Longhorn. We'll have a couple Lone Stars on tap.
I'll buy the third round. How about it?
All right.
Andrew Player now facing under pressure here inside this top 3 as Trevor Robertson catches up to his back bumper. To answer your question there, MDITV, the answer is depending on what you do. If you just do a splash and go, it's about 35-ish seconds. Full pit stop, about 45 seconds for total pit lane time.
It's good that you have that data available.
Yeah, he's got so much data, I can't even interpret half the stuff that's going on in that SDK live timing machine. But it is
A lot of numbers. It's a whole screen of numbers.
Here's what I can tell you, though. The guys that move up the track, like Trevor Robertson up 16, Jeremiah Burke up 22, that is the cool stuff to know.
As Jeremiah Burke trying to stay in front of that 33 of Jess Vaught, coming up to his back bumper here, gets that tail end breaking loose just a little bit. Everyone battling it out here because what could possibly come up is where you will finish here tonight. As the 33 of Jess Vaught just pushing it maybe a little too hard, dirt tracks it here and actually finds a little bit of dirt as he sends it around that turn, losing some time here to Jeremiah Burke.
Greg Klein. Yeah, and Greg Klein. I mean, Greg Klein is on the warpath now, trying to catch up.
As Trevor Robertson comes on down into pit lane. George Rincon and Andrew Player both staying out here, not pitting yet. Same thing with the 82 of Mike Everidge. We have a couple of guys that haven't pitted yet, but that's okay. Got the Andrew Cawthon now trying to stay up with the 34 of Mike Sobanovsky right now, kind of back here, battle for a top 20 position. Kelly Keel as well, trying to hold off that 5 of Jonah Long after serving that penalty.
challenge. It's hard to take it all in.
Yeah, you are not kidding there. As there goes the 5 around Kelly there. Looks like Poke Cell Tony coming on down into the pit. Sorry there, buddy.
No, you're good. One thing's for sure, next week, we may have to get Turner to take maybe some anti-anxiety medication or something, because we're going to Pocono. And I know that he has some bad memories of that place, but we're going to see some fantastic racing out of these trucks on the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, we will, as we got a great race going on here for the lead. The 18 Andrew Player catching up to that back bumper of the 28 George Rincon. This is your battle for the lead currently. Will they make it on fuel, or are they going to have to make a late pit stop here? Jeremiah Burke slowly catching them as well in the final 3 laps here of this race, as everything continues to heat on up here.
Burke should be good. Hit it at lap 28. Player and Rincon, these guys are going to be in trouble. I don't think. Unless they're short shifting like crazy, but when you do that, you're losing so much track position to those guys who are running full blast all out right there behind you. Andrew Player is in the pit, so there you go. That answers one of those questions.
Andrew Player, he was also pushing pretty hard to catch up to that 28 machine, so he might have been trying to save fuel at the start, but realized he wasn't going to make it, so he wanted to make up as much time as he could to not lose all of those positions. So here comes Jeremiah Burke now down across the line, moving up into second. Heck of a run here for that 753, up 24 spots on the day. As oh no, Mike Adamson having an issue here. He's sideways at the entrance to the front straightaway here, losing a chunk of positions as Andrew Player finishes his pit stop here, rejoins the track right beside the 14. Oh, gets a little loose coming around that hairpin turn, trying to get back around the 14 of Dustin Eaton and crawl his way back up into a top 5.
The Limitless guys struggling, but still doing pretty well. Two of them in the top 10 currently. Adamson close right there in 11th. But he, like you say, he lost a few spots there. We'll cross the line here and get the scoring update.
As Everidge and Long battle for a position there for a little bit, but here comes Jess Vaught now, back up to that back bumper.
Drifting it. You see him drift through that little hairpin there? Vaught's on a mission, boy.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's only got 2 laps left to try to figure out a way to get around Jeremiah Burke, as George Rincon still without pitting. Has he saved enough fuel? He is 7 seconds in front of Burke and Vaught. Is that enough time that he can actually save as much as he needs to make it down and across the line here as he enters in kind of this back section of this track? Just about 3 more turns left before taking that white flag. Can Mr. Sneaky get it done here tonight? The 28 of George Rincon, one of those guys we always sleep on a little bit here at these road courses. He's very good at consistent driving, fuel saving driving, and that is what we're seeing here today. As he comes down into pit lane as he's about to take the white flag. Man, talk about a splash and go. He's literally taking just what's in the tube of that fuel can here as he makes his way down onto pit road. However, I don't think it's going to be quick enough as Jeremiah Burke comes down and across the line now with the race lead, taking the white flag. Jess Vaught creeping ever so closely behind him. Greg Klein there as well, as everybody making their way down and through turns 1 and into these S's they go. Vaught trying everything he possibly can here to catch up to that 753.
Quite a few off tracks in one of those overrun sections, but the guys are letting up when they do get that warning flag. Tell them to slow down. They're doing so.
And we still have a pretty good battle going on here inside this top 10. You got the 6 of Austin Reeves and the 81 of Osborne, who are nose to tail heading through this kind of Snake S's section here for the final time on this final lap. Reeves getting caught up by Osborne here, looking to the outside, now back to the inside, not able to make that move stick as they head up the hill and then back down into the first hairpin turn here.
Just have enough.
That's the question now, creeping in within 1 second, heading down the long back straightaway, trying to get every inch of a sniff of a draft that he can to try to close that gap up. Still hovering right around 1 second as Burke with a very cautious exit here. That's going to allow Jess Vaught to push on forward, now half a second behind, heading into this middle section as the 33 dirt tracks it here again, but makes it able to stick just enough to get enough grip to make it around the turn here as the 753 of Burke just absolutely tries to grind and grind and grind away. He goes off track here, extending those track limits just a little bit, being careful not to pick up a slow down penalty as he enters in this final section of this racetrack. Just a couple more right-handers and a left-hander left here for the 753 and the 33, battling it out as a lap traffic car gets there. It's trying to stay out of the way as the 753 heads on down into the penultimate corner here in up the hill final time here. Final corner, 753, Jess Vaught right behind him. It's not gonna be enough as the 753 charges forward up 25 spots to pick up the win here tonight at Circuit of the Americas.
We knew that strategy might work. He made it happen. He made it work tonight.
But don't hold back now. We still got a battle inside this top 10 as they come across the line. It's got to be Osborne by about a bumper and a half. Adamson just sneaking around some traffic there right behind teammate Timothy Pope as they came across the line. So great racing all around here, but the big victory goes to that 753 Jeremiah Burke. Good job there for that limitless car, but we also have 2 Vigilante Force drivers up there on that podium in second and third.
What a great job by these guys out here tonight. Jeremiah Burke, obviously. Dustin Eaton snagging a top 5 from way back in 22nd. What an effort by the 14 car out there today.
Well, we do have at least one more thing to do here. I gotta pull it up. Doo-ba-doo. And that is pick our random draw driver of the day. We had 28 trucks finish here tonight. So here we go. Who's going to be the lucky driver here? 1, 2, and 3. It's the person who finished in 7th here tonight. And that is going to be the 28 of George Rincon. Oh, that's good. I actually wanted to talk to him here.
I think he just burned out of here. Actually, I was listening into the driver's chat. I think he had to leave, but who knows? We'll see if that's the case. But either way,
He left the race.
But
He finished.
No, I think he had to leave. He had to go. He had to get off because he had something to do. Is what I'm saying. I was listening to him chat with Jess, so maybe I'm wrong. I pay attention.
Yeah.
I got my spies everywhere.
Sorry, man. I missed that.
Yeah, I got spies everywhere. Don't kid yourself. Okay.
They'll let us know if they want us to pick another one. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a thumbs up from Lori there, so I think we're going to be okay.
Okay.
Either
We're gonna grab him like second or third, anyways.
Yeah.
You want to talk to him first just to get it out of the way because he does have an early morning maybe here.
I have to jump around up here.
You can mix it up to help George out here.
I think he actually already jumped off, so I don't know. But
There you go.
either way, we can talk to our. No, please draw again. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, told you.
Uh,
I'm the genius here today.
Jonah Long, number
Nobody beats the Wiz.
12th place finisher of Jonah Long.
Jonah
Jonah
Long.
Long. Cool.
He had a good race, man. That's pretty
He
cool.
did.
That's awesome. All right.
Well, either way, let's get these interviews underway here, starting with tonight's 3rd place finisher. It's going to be the 92 of Greg Klein, heck of an effort out there, Greg. I know COTA, man, it is a tough track in pretty much a Formula One car. I couldn't imagine what it's like down there in those trucks.
It's horrible. You guys have known me a long time. You know this is probably my least favorite road course, and I love road course racing.
I don't believe it.
You believe it, you know it. But yeah, it was tough. But man, it was hard. But we made it to the podium for a change. So it's good to be up here talking to you guys.
Well, we're glad to see you up here, Greg. Two-part question. Talk about what were the biggest challenges out there? Was it lap traffic? Was it, the one restart we had? And then talk about Pocono next week.
I think the biggest challenge is really we're keeping the tires on the car and not burning those up. And then there towards the end, the fuel strategy got a little weird on me. So we had to do a stop and go or splash and go. And the fuel mileage kind of got a little weird, but we made that work. Pocono, you guys know Pocono is one of my favorites. So hopefully we can go there and put in a good effort and put in a good show. Maybe come back and talk to you guys again.
Okay, well, 2 questions for me, too. So first one's going to be, I got real quick ones. First one's going to be like, you've been here in real life. What's your impression of being down there and all that, just quickly? And then anybody you want to thank and shout outs after that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lot more fun to watch it in real life than it is to race it because it's just not my favorite track, but watching it's amazing. Hopefully just if we do it again, have a better result. Just got a couple more spots to go. Thanking people, thanking you guys, Jess and Laura for putting this on. Wife putting up with me because she's trying to sleep, and I'm sure I'm being loud in the microphone. And man, it's everybody that makes this a pretty fun league to race in.
Awesome, man. Well, a heck of a drive there in that 92 machine. You did as much as you could to try to hang on there up to the front, and that's enough to bring you home here in third. Good job, Greg.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. It was tiring, and I'm going to go to bed.
Now we'll let the 92 of Greg Klein head off on to bed there as we talked to tonight's second place finisher, and he tried, man. We saw you trying, Jess, but not quite enough, man. Those tires, once when he started overcooking them, man, it was just so hard to make up the ground to Jeremiah there at the end, but still a heck of a run, leading basically 3/4 of this thing until pretty much those final pit stops where the fuel strategy got a little weird.
Yeah, bridesmaid again, man. You know how I feel about that. So, I don't know. Strategy at the end there. If I went in a lap earlier, when he went around me, and I knew we were both on old tires, I knew it was going to be a tough sledding to try and actually make a charge at him. But I gave it the old college try a couple times there and pressed him enough to make him make some mistakes, but it just wasn't quite enough. And I certainly didn't want to get in too hard and wreck us and ruin both our days. But congratulations to Jeremiah. It was a great run for him. Really don't like stage breaks, man. I think I could have ran away with this one.
Yeah, you definitely were in that first stage, and you had a great lead. And we talked a little bit about it on the broadcast, how the top 3 were kind of the class of the field there, and then you had another 10 seconds between third and fourth. Talk a little bit about the tricky triangle next week, man, because that's a place you either love it or hate it. Greg Klein is one of those guys that loves it. So you might have your hands full with a teammate there, but talk a little bit about your history with Pocono and what you think about it.
No, I enjoy Pocono. I don't know that I'm the best there, but I really do enjoy it. Turn 2 out of 3. Turn 2 is kind of tricky when it comes to racing with people in there, so I'll be cautious around that area. But I think it'll be a good time. Hopefully, I have a good run and keep maybe jumping up the leaderboard here for the season standings. I'll watch out for Greg too. Don't worry.
Yeah, watch out for your teammates in turn 2. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
It's a fun track. But
That's right. There's a history there. I forgot about that.
Well, Adam hasn't, and he'll never forget. I'll tell you that.
Bringing up old stuff. But tough track. You did really very strong in the first half. So the stage break, but it's just crazy. Kind of like 2 different games, 2 different races. Kind of like halftime in a football game. What happened there? But you still got second place. Good job on that. And you have anybody you want to thank or shout out to?
As always, thanks to Lori for running everything. I just drive now. I like it that way. Thanks to my teammates and for you guys for putting on a great show.
Awesome, Jess. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. I know you're looking pretty healthy there on that championship standings, and this race helps out a ton. So good job here tonight, and can't wait to see what you can do there at Pocono.
Yeah, buddy. You guys take care.
As we move down the leaderboard here for a quick second, we get to talk to the driver of the ever so famous pink number 5, Mr. Jonah Long. Man, Jonah, you were having a pretty solid race there, especially at least in that first half. You and George were having a heck of a time battling with each other there. And then stage break happened. It looked like you were going to continue to charge on forward, but just a couple of mistakes there at the end, slipping on down to 12th. But kind of tell us about how you think your race went along there and how tricky it is to stay consistent at a road course like this.
Oh, it's one of the most difficult things you could do in this car, to stay consistent in a track like this. I was just at the beginning I was just working on defending from like everybody that was around me. And then I started to like get a little bit faster as time started going. I noticed I was getting a little bit faster, but in the second half in the pit stop, the green flag pit stop, I went like 5 miles an hour too fast and got a black.
Well, Team Orangutan, Team Tang, as they're affectionately known over in the YouTube chat with y'all supporters, you and Dustin, David, and the other Dustin, you guys are really, making an impression here in this league. Are you guys the future of VRL? Because you guys are really putting on a great show week in and week out. We can't wait to see what you guys do at Pocono.
Well, we hope we are the future. We hope we are, but we're looking forward to it. The guys like Pocono, so we'll see.
Well, good luck. You had a pretty good race tonight. You got a little extra cash. You got anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Team Tang.
Awesome. Well, congratulations out there, Jonah. You raced your heart out there and heartbreak, but get back to it. I know you're going to get probably a top 10 finish there at Pocono, man. So good luck, and good luck to your Team Tang.
Thank you, guys.
As we finish things off here from Circuit of the Americas with tonight's race winner and hard charger of the day, up 25 spots is the 753 Jeremiah Burke. Jeremiah, you're one of these guys at these road courses, man. If you just got to put a couple laps together and then you kind of find a rhythm to it, and you did just that here in this closing section of this race.
Oh, that was I have to admit that was the hardest road course I've ever done in my life. The track was tough, competition's tough. Of course, I had my penalty, so I had to come through the field. That was tiring, and then I had to race Jess at the end, and you got Jess, Klein, Rincon, Jonah was fast. I mean, everybody up there was quality racers, and man, I'm just thrilled to be able to pull that win off, get in the playoffs, and the rest of the season's downhill from here.
I was watching Andrew Player, one of those other guys that, man, just tough to pass, and one of those guys that's going to harass you and just try to find a way around you. But you guys raced pretty clean out there today, and moving into next week at Pocono. What's Team Limitless? What's the plan next week?
We're gonna go out there and try to dominate there, because Pocono is probably all of our best tracks. So if we can go out there and just have a good run, I think all 4 trucks in the top 10 for sure, and maybe even top 5.
Whoa. We'll be looking for that, man.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm really looking forward to Pocono. I've been looking forward to that since the schedule got announced.
You're calling your shot like Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, yeah.
It's not bad.
Now we're all gonna wreck each other in the first corner. Watch.
Hey, I've seen it happen. Okay.
In turn 2, yeah.
Watch out, turn
man.
2. Up 25 spots. That's pretty incredible at a track like this with all the. Yeah, it's like driving through on 35 in Austin, actually, just trying to get through traffic. Awesome job. You got anybody you want to shout out to?
Oh yeah, I want to thank, of course, Ricky Wittenberg, D&D Race Graphics for this freaking awesome paints for Limitless this year. Of course, he's got tons out there, but I mean, the Limitless trucks are my favorite. I'm a little biased, um, but yeah, my teammates Albert, Mike, Tim, we push each other so hard, and it's good. We can compete against each other and then help each other at the same time. Limitless is we're gonna be on a roll here in a little bit.
Awesome, man. Well, good job on the win here tonight. First win on the season for you here, so able to get yourself into playoff contention here, which is really kind of the big thing, getting that monkey off your back, and kind of literally and figuratively now that we got orangutans kind of hanging around the Discord now. But made a heck of a drive out there tonight. Congratulations. Go celebrate it, and we look forward to seeing you and Team Limitless at Pocono next week.
Thank you. See you guys next week. Had a blast. Can't wait to watch this broadcast. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.
And
That was a beautiful transition, by the way. I like that.
oh, thank you. As
You're an artist.
it's I try as we start to kind of close things down here from Circuit of the Americas. And I got to ask you, Adam, I know you're not really the road course kind of guy, but how'd you like this race out here tonight?
I like it. You know, it's in Austin, so I got to bang on Austin, but I love Austin. It's like a love-hate I have with it. You know, being a Sooner fan and they're the Longhorns. So, but as far as the racing, it was cool. The 5 laps at the restart and at the beginning were super exciting to me, and I'm not a road course guy, and I liked all that beating and banging. So I kind of learned something tonight, and I appreciate you guys for teaching me, because I don't know anything about it.
Well, in a track like this, you know, after those long starts and restarts and stuff like that, your brain kicks into overdrive because it's so mentally fatiguing to be at a place like this where every single corner is different. You have to not only pay attention to your tires, your fuel, you know, who's around you, but then you got to remember what turn you're going into and what gear you need to be in and where's your braking point and all that stuff. So 16, it says 16 turns, but Brown, you said it's actually really about 20 turns when you split up the S's and stuff like that. So you've got that many braking points to try to remember. It's got to really wear these guys' mind down.
Yeah, that indeed. As we talking about grind these guys on down, and they're probably all tired. Well, we're tired as well, so let's get through these finishing order of the night with the 753 Jeremiah Burke coming home in first place, your hard charger of the night, up 25 spots, serving that EOL penalty at the beginning, having to fight his way on through the field, and does just that. 33 Jess Vaught having another solid podium finish here tonight, finishing in second with teammate Craig Klein right behind him there in third. 64 Trevor Robertson had a solid night there himself, up 15 spots, kind of getting the undercut move done there inside of those final few laps, finishing in fourth with the 14 of Dustin Eaton having a great night as well. He's up 17 spots to finish there in that top 5. 18 Andrew Player, man, it looked like he was going to be a contender there for quite a while, especially after that first half run. He finishes here in 6th. Same thing with that 28 of George Rincon, man. I think if he could have saved like half an ounce more of fuel, he might have been able to possibly make it to the end, but having to pit there on the last lap, bringing home 7th place for him. The 81 Jonathan Osborne cut his way up through the field not once, not twice, but like I think 3 times here, able to walk home in 8th place. You got the 6 Austin Reeves as well, having a solid night, finishing there in 9th. With the 728 of Timothy Pope, who didn't even own the track as of last week, walks home with a top 10 here tonight.
Yeah, Mike Adamson, what a run from 29th to 11th. But he'll have to settle for 11th outside the top 10. John Long of the 5, lucky draw driver, still finishes in 12th after having a rough night out there. 49 of David Kelly finishes 13th. 14th will be Dustin Wade. Cody Tarrant in the 25 will finish 15th. 16th will be Mike the Spy right there in the 34 car. 63 of Joshua Oxendine finishing in 17th. 18th will be Tony Pope Salatoni in the 8. 01 of Kelly Kill finishes 19th, and rounding out your top 20, the 10 of Andrew Cawthon.
76 Jeff Odger 76, Jeff Ottinger's 21st. 82, Michael Everidge, 22nd. 83, Charlie Herkus, 23rd. 123, John Gallagher, 24th. 29, Dave Mayberry ended up 25th. 99, a Chris Zofeld, 26th. 74, Robert Jordan, 27th. 58, Robert Chipman ended up 28th. 66, Todd Smith, 29th. 747, Albert Anderson, America's driver, right there in 30th. 28, Jeffrey Johnson, 31st. 11, Chad McCabe, 32nd. And rounding it out, David Emig in 33rd.
And that is your field here tonight from Circuit of the Americas. We thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a great night here with us as always, because you guys are the reason why we do this, is having great fans like you guys. So thank you so much for that support, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, as we are live 5 nights a week, and you do not want to miss a second of the racing action that we get to show you guys each and every race. And be sure, if you like any of that content, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, because man, the more likes we get, the more it gets published to other people's feeds and be like recommended to them, be like, hey, you watch this, so hey, try watching this. And that's just going to allow even more people to enjoy the race in action that we see, as well as a big thank you to the great sponsors that allow us to broadcast this style of racing here with D&D Race Grafix, spelled Grafix. You can find Mr. Ricky Wittenberg there on Facebook and on Trading Paints to get you an eye-popping, eye-catching paint scheme here that you heard Jeremiah Burke talk about, that he just loves so much. So go ahead and get your next car painted by Ricky here today, as well as you can go down to his real-life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee, and give Ricky a call at 423-444-0454. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area, or across the country, he can get you in contact with a realtor in your area and get you all ready and knowledged up and help you do whatever realty stuff you need to do, because this market is absolutely bonkers insane. Don't do it alone. Get yourself a good quality realtor. And so with that, that's going to close things down for us here tonight. We'll see you again on Friday night with the Num Thumbs Racing League ARCA cars heading their way to the fields of Kansas. That's a beautiful 1.5 mile track here that those ARCA cars are absolutely going to be able to fly around. And we've seen some great races there this season so far, and it's just going to get even better here on Friday night. So until Friday night, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.